I'm here with Barbara Marshall at HP's booth, and she's going to take us through the new Z8 Fury workstation, which is your top-end workstation.
Yeah.
So what makes the Fury more furious than, say, a regular Z8?
Good question. So I think the first thing to say is the reason we've got this new range of workstations is because of the new Intel Sapphire Rapid CPU architecture. So we've been waiting that for a few years. It's the first time in 6 or 7 years that they brought out their next generation of scalable CPUs. It's a step up from the normal Z8. We've had a Z8 for many years, but with the new Intel architecture, we can get a single CPU in the machine, which has 56 cores on it. That frees up the space to be able to add 4 double-wide GPUs, and so here, we've got the NVIDIA.
So you no longer need the option of 2 CPUs. One is all you need and you just choose the number of cores?
Absolutely, although for insurance purposes, we are still offering a 2 GPU Z8, that's the Z8 without the Fury, just in case there are people, for whatever reasons, feel they still need the 2 CPUs. And with those, there's 32 cores on each, so you can go to 64 cores in that machine. The 56-core CPU goes up to 4.8 gigahertz turbo.
Wow. How important is the CPU once you've got all these GPUs in there when it comes to video editing and rendering and all that stuff?
Well, I think this is a really good example of a balanced machine. And as you're implying, a lot of software which was traditionally CPU has added capability to be GPU accelerated. So you still need the CPU, but a lot of tasks can now be moved onto the GPU. So it kind of depends on the software, and we see a lot of different use cases on this machine. If you take Autodesk Flame and visual effects and compositing, then traditionally that's been a Z8 kind of software. It scales to 2 GPUs and it needs like a mid-range CPU, or 16 to 20 cores on the CPU. So you need power on kind of both. Houdini, if we take side effects, Houdini, which was used to create the scene in our launch video, the desert scene that was rendered as the machine dropped out of the aeroplane, and it had to render in 30 seconds to save the Z8 Fury. Houdini's got a new renderer which is in beta. I think it will be released probably at the end of the year. That scales to 4 GPUs. So I think it can scale beyond that. It'll scale to as many GPUs as you can throw at it. So therefore, again, you're taking advantage of the CPU cores that you need to run Houdini, but then you can take advantage of multiple GPUs as well. You mentioned video editing.
Yes.
So yes, and of course video playback is going to benefit from the software that has used GPU acceleration for video playback. So it really is quite a lot of different use cases. Obviously, we've got a range of workstations. So with the new Intel architecture, we've got the new Z4, we've got the new Z6, the Z8 dual CPU, and then the Z8 Fury. So all of those can do 4K for sure. As you start getting into higher resolution and your data sets get bigger and bigger, that's when you start needing more memory, more storage, more power. So that's where you will start going up the stack.
Magically, Barbara has rendered into Quincy, and Quincy is going to show us a little bit about the inside of the Z8 Fury. So what do we have here? See, we have a lot of GPUs.
This is the Z8 Fury G5. We have a 56-core machine that can hold up to 4 RTX 8000 from NVIDIA, or the new RTX 6080 cards from NVIDIA as well. It's a very capable machine, up to I believe 2 terabytes of memory. And as you can see here, if you open this cover, actually exposes all the memory DIMM slots here. And then up at the top, you can see that there's 2 what we call personality modules that can hold 2 NVMe drives each. As you can see, Here's our personality module, and like I said, each of these can hold up to two NVMe drives each. So you get 4 NVMe storage options available. You can also add in a card here that can have hot swappable drives as well. So all the storage that you need in the Z8 Fury.
What's the largest size now for the NVMe drives that you could put in the Fury?
So currently you can hold up to 4 terabytes each. And then you could also hold these 3.5 hard disk drives as well. So like I said, plenty of storage options. Maxed out, this thing can go around $40,000, just depending on how you configure it.
Quincy just turned back into Barbara. So,
The power of visual effects.
amazing visual effects and accelerated by Z workstations. Who's actually using some of your workstations now? What are the big studios using them?
So of course, many of the big studios, probably shouldn't really name names, but visual effects, post-production, broadcast. In particular, I can call out the Mill because we worked with them on our stunt video. And so in the stunt video, Tim Kafka, who is head of CG LA for the Mill, now head of creative operations, he created a desert scene, sort of mimicking the Anza Borrega, which is where we were filming the stunt. And he created this scene in Houdini. It needed to render in 30 seconds in order for the Z8 Fury to save itself. And so that's an example of the kind of work that can be done. He's also brought it into Unreal Engine for us, and so that's also great. So that's the scene that one of the scenes that we're showing on the LED wall here at our booth at NAB.
I've used a number of Z workstations in the past, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this one, doing a review. My own personal experience with them, I've got some that are over a decade old and they're still going, and I still find useful work for them to do. So
You are the 5th person today that's told me that they've got over 10-year-old Z workstations.
Yeah, I've got a Z800 and a Z820 still running. The Z800 is doing capturing for my archival company, capturing old videotapes and such. And the Z820 is still an edit system that edits HD and 4K. And that's got to be 10 or 12 years old.
Yeah. Built to last.
Can't wait to see what we can do with something like this. I'll have to get one of those 12K cameras and put it through its tests.
Well, we look forward to hearing how you get on with it. So thank you very much.